Hello and welcome. I'm Elizabeth, a librarian with the San José Public Library, and today we're going to be painting with crystals. So what are you going to need for today's activity? Well, you'll need 1 cup of hot water. You may need an adult's help with this. You'll need 1 cup of Epsom salts and a little bit of salt to start the crystals forming. You'll need some cups to put your mixture in, as well as a tray to paint on and some paper to paint on. Now I'm using cardstock here, 1 piece of black cardstock and 1 piece of white. I like cardstock because it's thick and it has a smooth finish so it doesn't absorb too much of the water. Next you'll need a spoon to stir with, as well as some food coloring to put into your water if you want to make your designs in color as well. Finally, you'll need some paintbrushes to paint with, and if you'd like to, you can have a pencil to sketch out your designs. So we'll start off by taking up our 1 cup of Epsom salts and pouring it into our 1 cup of hot water. We'll then need to stir our mixture until it dissolves completely. This may take a few minutes, but make sure that you stir until all of the crystals in the mixture are dissolved completely. We're going to be making our mixture very thick, so it may take some time to keep. So just keep stirring until you can't see any crystals in there at all. Once you're happy with your mixture, I like to start off by putting a little bit of salt in just to help the crystals start to form when they go onto the page. Just a sprinkle will do. And then we'll start with our clear water mixture without any food coloring added to it. And I do this clear water mixture on the black cardstock. It looks very nice. So I'll take one of my paintbrushes. I like to use a nice thick one, dip it in the water, and paint with it just as you would with paint. I'm just going to do a very simple snowflake design here with 8 little spokes. And I'm already done with my design. I'll give it a little extra coating so that I have a nice thick coat of my mixture on my paper, and then I'll set it aside to dry. While I'm waiting for it to dry, I'll start with my white piece of paper and I'll pour a little bit of my clear mixture into a cup so that I can add some color to it and save some of the mixture if I want to play with more colors later. I'm going to paint with blue, so I'm going to take my blue food coloring and then I'm going to add quite a few drops of blue food coloring in there. The food coloring mixes in very well, so you want to make sure that your color is nice and deep. I'm going to take a slightly thinner paintbrush, and this time I'm just going to paint a little fishy friend on my white paper. So as I'm painting, I'm noticing that I'm not really getting a very deep color of blue, and because my Epsom salts will dry even fainter than they appear on the paper, I'm actually going to take and add a little bit more blue food coloring so that I get an even deeper color. Let's give that a stir and just go back and coat over my design one more time. And as I do, I can see that the blue color is much deeper here. Now, because we're dissolving these food colorings in water, they're never going to be very deep like paint. They're more like watercolors that you're painting with here. I'm just going to give my fish some little air bubbles here, appearing up top from his head. And then I'm going to set this painting aside as well to dry. Now, I've let my paintings dry for about 30 minutes, and you can see that my clear water painting on black paper has developed some very, very nice crystals. It's a little bit harder to see the crystals in my colored painting on white paper, but if I shift the paper a little bit, you can see that it has a faint crystal pattern on it as well and shimmers a little bit. Thanks for creating with us today. If you had a good time, please be sure to fill out the program survey in the description box below and check out the San José Public Library's website for more resources on science and creativity.